Hey everybody, it's your PeaceKeeper coming at you with another epic battle replay, and in this video we are going to return to the ye old staple of epic battle replays, Battleship Hindenburg. And this game is obviously a tier 10 fight, but there are carriers on the teams. There's also lots of battleships on the enemy team, so I don't know what people's excuse is going to be for this good game, but here it is anyway. This game is right around 207,000 damage, 2 kills, Confederate, and I get away with a lot in this. Like, way too much. But that's what makes for a very good game. You can see I am divisioned up with 2 people. It is Spectre Mage and Tyher, I believe is how you say it. Both of them are Sun Tzu Warrior clanmates. And you'll see that for the most part I abandoned them, so I guess there is some level of communication between us, but that's alright. They do an excellent job as well. I'm not the only one that did good in this game, and obviously I couldn't have done this well in this ship without them. And one of the interesting things about this video is that I use HE a lot. Hindenburg really is what Des Moines should be. In fact, I would trade a lot of what Des Moines has in rate of fire for this level of gameplay. You know, Hindenburg has better range. It arguably has better HE, although obviously, you know, it doesn't have the rate of fire that the Des Moines has. So I don't know. Anyway, the interesting part about Hindenburg is, of course, the fact that it does have really good AP. It doesn't do nearly as consistent damage as, say, the Des Moines does, but, you know, it's really quite good, too. It's really not giving up a whole lot, except for maybe in those bounce angles. And right off the bat, so we're going to A. This is the map Trap. I hate this map. There's no good way to go on this map. You always get screwed on this map. The only people who don't get screwed on this map are basically carriers, battleships, and destroyers. So basically everybody but cruisers. And the reason I say that is because, you know, destroyers can hide in plain sight, battleships have enough HP and armor to tank hits, and carriers are never really in the direct line of fire. I mean, they can be, and as you'll see in this match, oftentimes if the team doesn't support them very well, they can get taken to that position. Now, I'm taking a bit of a risk here by sitting stationary. I've done this behind this island. I've done this before with the Des Moines and really got punished for it. But in this match, I managed to make it work. Now, obviously, there's nobody at A that needs to be support. We got ourselves our second fire of the match on that grosser curve first. And we need to move. We can't sit back here behind A the whole match, especially if I'm not going to be detected. That really hurts your potential damage, which really hurts your earning potential for both your XP as well as for credits, and I really want to obviously make money in this. This captain is my second 19-point captain after my Des Moines captain, and in this match, he was not 19 points. He was only 18 points, about a halfway to his 19 points, so not exactly a huge... it is a huge, I guess. That makes a pretty big deal, but he's missing Adrenaline Rush, which is what he has now. And, well, you can see we're not being focused on by really anybody. All these battleships are focused on what's going on in the middle. That allows me to start yet another fire. Note we are up to basically 31,000 damage already, and we're only 4 minutes into the game, and I've shot nothing but HE. People say the German HE is bad. You know, Hindenburg's HE is not the other HE from the other ships. Okay, so the Grosser Kurfürst is finally paying attention to us, and check this shot out. That was a Citadel hit. You saw where that hit, and you saw the angle that it hit at. How was that a Citadel hit? Wargaming? Really? I have a feeling there was some netcode issues there, actually. And, well, it'd be nice if Wargaming would fix some of that, because that was a BS hit. I'm sorry. There was nothing about that hit that is legit. At least not from my perspective where it hit in this match. And I'm not lagging, so I don't really know what's causing it. We once again disappear behind an island. We're detected by aircraft, but nothing can really shoot at us. There's a Baltimore way out there. And we're racking up some defense points there. We're up to 50,000, and we're only 5 minutes into the game. And we've got ourselves a number of different targets that we can shoot at. This Grosser Kurfürst is a very interesting target in the sense that he is, 1, not paying attention to me, 2, he is on fire, and that means his repair's not down, but 3, he's broadside to me. And if you haven't learned from my other Battleship Hindenburg videos, the AP on this thing up against the superstructure of German battleships is ridiculous. Later in this match, we are going to see Ken Cole was here receive a 10,000 damage hit from Battleship Hindenburg. We've got a stationary Ibuki way out there, and of course Battleship Hindenburg's glorious dispersion. He disappears. Not before we get 2 Citadel hits, and I saw where they landed, so that's good. Using the torpedo lead indicator, look at how many hit points he just lost. Poof. And there's another hit. There's another Citadel for you. We're going to throw another one in there. Missouri shooting HE at us. Odd. Congratulations for your 3,700 damage and the fire that I'm going to put out right away, because there's nothing that's going to cause me any damage from it. We're running out of targets to shoot at, and if I was in a Des Moines, I'd be able to shoot over that island, but honestly, we need to get moving again. As you can see, we are down in both caps and in ships. We need to make some moves, so it's time to put on our big boy pants, and we are going to go find this Grosser Kurfürst, and we are going to, well, I don't want to call it brawling, because it's not really brawling, but we are going to put him out of his misery. He is just lingering on and on and on, and, well, there's the 16-inch AP from the Missouri. He couldn't really see where I was at. And, okay. And salvo out. And good night. There he goes. Okay, so now he's dead. We need to start moving to B, which is this middle cap. And there's really not a whole lot of good targets to shoot at. We're going to shoot at this Iowa. He's presenting a better profile for that AP that I've got loaded up. And really what I should have done is switch back to HE, but, you know, hey. Sometimes you don't always think, you know, right away on your foot. That first salvo, he ends up not hitting. The second salvo, I believe it does. And we're going to shoot at this Montana. Yep, there's the 10,000 damage on an Iowa from 16K. And on a Montana, you know, 3 grand basically. A couple of 3 grand hits will help out. And we've switched to HE already. There's the Missouri and Ibuki firing at me. Missouri hits, but it's an overpen. Now that one, if that was a Citadel, I could have understood that, because that shell hit basically right in front of the turret and was coming down at an angle. But that wasn't a Citadel, that was an overpen. But the one that hits my nose at a weird angle ends up being a Citadel hit. Alright, Wargaming. Cool story, bro. Oh, look what just popped up. Well, beached carrier. Don't mind if I do. Meanwhile, we're going to go ahead and duck and weave our way out of fire from this Ibuki in Missouri. The other battleships in B that are headed up to C really don't seem to be paying too much attention to me. And so we're pushing. We're going to go ahead and push. We're going to start taking damage off this Essex really fast. You saw that first salvo was 5K. This salvo is going to be about the same. Okay, it was 9K. I'm just kidding. You know, 5K, 9K, pretty similar. But if we could take this Essex out, that's really going to leave ours to do a lot of work. There's another 9K taken off. Battleship Hindenburg, guys. This ship does more consistent AP damage than most battleships do. And there's the kill. Oh, sorry, Yagumo. Didn't mean to have you take all those hits for me. Switch to Ibuki. If he comes backwards, that will definitely hurt him. And, well, we're out of targets to shoot at, but there's a lot of stuff here near B that we're going to have to take care of. I'm going broadside, man. This is a bad place to be. And as you can see, that Iowa decides he's going to shoot at me. This Grosser Kurfürst, Ken Cole was here. Another Formite, by the way. He wants his secondaries, want a piece of me. Man, this just isn't good. We're going to launch some panic torps to dissuade him from coming this way, but being only 6K, they're really not that useful, and they won't hit him. And here you can see RNG gods have smiled upon me with a bunch of overpens. And this Yagumo has smiled upon me with the blessing of smoke. We've slowed down to make that corner, and so my turning radius is actually hurting. It's not nearly as good. And so we're gonna try and get in there. And this ship does have a very large turning radius. 2,000 damage to the Iowa. Not a whole lot of good solid hit there. But any damage is good damage. That's the way I like to say it. And we're going to get an 1,100 damage because that hit the unarmored, or the unarmored nose. We'll call it that. It doesn't really have any armor. It's an all-or-nothing armor scheme, guys. 6K on the broadside, Iowa. That was with 3 hits and 1 overpen. Or 3 pens and 1 pen. Another 4K with just 3 hits. Okay, 1,000. Now we're starting to lose some damage there. And what that is damage saturation to the superstructure. And they've supposedly fixed this issue with Iowa. And it has been my experience that most ships in this game still exhibit some level of saturation. It's just you're more likely to kill the ship outright than you are to actually see it. If you really want to play around with that, pick up a ship like the Minotaur or the Neptune, go into a training room, and test it out there. There you saw we did like 5K to that Izumo. We're up to 160,000 damage. We're doing pretty good. No qualms about that. And we're just going to keep plugging away. We've got the smoke here. It's starting to dissipate, which is fine. And started a fire on the Izumo. In fact, had I been smart, I could have stayed back behind there and continued to fire at this Izumo. No one would have been able to spot me. They don't have any ships to the northwest. And we make this work. If you're going to come out with a bunch of bunch of battleships, and you're going to be broadside, do yourself a huge favor and make sure that you start turning away immediately. There you can see we took a pretty sizable hit from Kenkole was here when he fired at me. Now this Missouri is broadside to me, and as we saw earlier with the other Iowa-class battleship that just, you can see he's sinking right next to him, we want to make sure those shells hit that superstructure, or the base of the superstructure in about the midship section to do the most damage. Suzumo eats a bunch of torps, he dies, that's fine. Kenkole was here. You are broadside to Battleship Hindenburg, prepare to receive. He is elected to receive. And he is on the wrong end zone. And he's on the wrong receiving end. Yep, 10K. Battleship Hindenburg doing reliable damage. And then, of course, RNG decides to troll. And if I remember correctly, this is like 2K. Yeah. Thanks. Same shell placement. A little bit different in the terms of penetrations, but really? And then 2K. Yeah, that's not terribly impressive. It's like we've missed the magic zone where this ship does a lot. And there you saw it, because our carrier has no opponent that he has to worry about. He can basically run free with regards to, any ships, and that's what he did there with Kenkole, is, he saw the opportunity, took advantage of it. 2 hits, not doing a whole lot of damage with the HE. I'm not really interested in doing raw damage numbers so much as I am starting that fire, although I won't complain about 3,200 damage on a bow on target like the way this Grosser Kurfürst is. Of course, at this point, the game has turned. We've never really had more than the A cap. We've just done a very good job of focusing down enemy ships. And some of that was communication. For the most part, though, not really. From what I remember of this battle, there wasn't a whole lot of communication on the team aside from a couple of call-outs, as well as, obviously, Spectre and Tyher and I communicating. And still looking to sink this Grosser Kurfürst, although I have garnered his attention because I don't know if he can see the Yagumo or if he just chose to ignore me. Kenkole, if you're watching this video, let me know what was going through your mind, if you even remember. I probably wouldn't remember. I have to watch these videos like half a dozen times before I remember what's actually going on. Oh, can we get the kill? We're at 206,824. We fight. Ah, the Yagumo gets the kill. That's all right. We end up with a win, 206,824 damage. basically 300 shell hits, 2 kills, 7 fires, bunch of citadels, 2,307 base XP. And detailed report here, you can see the fire damage, 40,248. So obviously the fire damage doesn't completely suck. And there's the credit screen. Anyway, I hope you guys really enjoyed this epic battle replay in Battleship Hindenburg. Hindenburg is such a staple in these, it just consistently produces such solid games. I hope you don't mind me posting yet another one. If you do, let me know down in the comments. And if otherwise, like, comment, subscribe, and thank you for watching.